What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of WTPNE podcast. This is number 41. Okay, they're getting longer. Okay, they're getting longer. I'm trying to get all these topics in there, so they're definitely getting longer. So make sure you like this particular podcast. Make sure you share it as well. Comment. I know y'all gonna have something to say. I appreciate everybody who comments, and that's why I like doing these, because I get a ton of comments. I think I get a lot more comments on these than my regular videos at times. Maybe because of different topics. Maybe because people are interested in what's going on. Because these particular podcasts brings all types of people together. Okay. Now make sure that you follow me on social media, especially Twitter, to get notifications, because YouTube notifications, some people aren't getting them. I would say the best place to go to get my notification, if you actually care about my content, this is what people give a shit, is make sure you get a Twitter account, open it up, follow me, then click the notification bell on Twitter. You'll get my notifications instantly. Now those work. Okay. Trust me, they work. So make sure you do that. Also, shout out to everybody who support the platform on Patreon. I really do appreciate that. I will start putting up videos more frequently. I'm trying to have fun with it. Basically doing a few rants here and there. I may put my disgruntled commenters videos there because the butt hurt would be too real to put it on YouTube. Okay. Okay. All right. The first topic I'm going to discuss, I'm going to speak about this new beef between Drake and Pusha T. Even though they kind of been beefing for a little bit, Pusha made a song that may have referenced Drake. Drake came back at him, and then it was sort of like, nothing after that. But Pusha T releases this new album that is critically acclaimed. Everybody's loving it. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to go listen to it. But I have heard Infrared with Kanye West. But because I am a Pusha T fan. I'm a fan of Pusha T, definitely. So I'm going to check that out. But I listened to Infrared, and the wordplay from Pusha T is elite. Okay. And he referenced how, Drake may have been doing a little bit of ghostwriting in the song, and I'm paraphrasing. And the song to me was a very good song. I really liked the song. Him and Ye, the chemistry on the song was nice. I really liked it. The beat, just the sound of it. I really liked it. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Kanye West's production. I think that when Kanye West is focused, I think he can make the best beats ever, and he can make the best sound ever. So I really like them two being on the song, but the song really triggered Drake. I mean, Drake was hurt. He was really hurt. He even expressed it in his response to Infrared, which was called Duppy, and he talked about how he was shocked and this and that, and he makes his song and he goes right at Pusha T, and he mentions his Quentin Miller, how he saved him from working a 9 to 5 and this and that, and then he talks about how he basically helped Pusha T's sales with this song by reviving his career. That's what he's saying. And he was really upset about it. And the thing about Drake is this, man. Drake has a sense of entitlement. He thinks because the media puts him up there as the top guy in hip hop that people are supposed to not go at him. People are supposed to show him the utmost respect. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're his peers. We're not talking about Jay-Z or Nas here. We're talking about a guy who's the same age as a lot of these rappers. But he has this sense of, because I'm Drake and the media says I'm so great. Even I will say Drake does make good music, not as consistently as people want you to believe, but he does make good music here and there. Having Drake on the song does help the song. I will say that, and I think he definitely did help Pusha T, and he legitimized Pusha T's new album. But I'll get into it later. I think that Drake is a really good rapper, but he's used ghostwriters, and I think that he needs to stop trying to defend his use of ghostwriters. It's clear that his dick writers don't care about him using ghostwriters, and to that point, I think that that's his fatal flaw. That's why he went at Meek Mill so hard. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's Drake's weakness. I think Drake's weakness is him worrying about people's perception of him, writing his rhymes. I mean, if you're making good music nowadays, no one cares, because we got so many bandwagoners. We have so many people who don't even respect the art of hip hop anymore. They don't care. As long as you're making a song with a nice beat and a hook, they don't care. Look at these new rappers. A lot of these guys have no talent, none. But because they can dance, or because they can look very, effeminate, and because they have catchy songs, they're on IG Live arguing with other people, that gets over. That gets over. So no one cares about authenticity. But maybe Drake is looking down the road. Maybe he wants to be put in a group of elite artists, and he doesn't want to feel tainted. I mean, but that's hip hop. I mean, I'm not saying that Meek Mill should have never brought that to light, but maybe he felt like he had to, and I don't think Drake should allow that to be his weakness. That's become his Achilles heel now. And I think that also with Pusha, I think that Pusha being as good lyrically as an artist as he is, I think that kind of scared Drake into making his response as quickly as he did, because he made a very quick response. I mean, that was a very quick response, because he knows that Pusha T is an elite rapper. Okay, he's not like these, Instagram, SoundCloud rappers. I'm a fan of these guys on SoundCloud, but still, he's not one of these guys that really, even with Meek, he has bars. He has bars, and I think that kind of scared him a bit to where he had to make a response. But he needs to stop responding. I mean, you got ghostwriters. They call, DJ Academics calls it the OVO sweatshop. We all know that you sign rappers in order to get them to write for you. We know this happens. Come on, guy. So that's my take on it. Let me know what y'all think. And also Drake, Pusha T responded to Drake's song on Twitter by saying, send the invoice. And Drake literally sent an invoice of $100,000 for promotional assistance and career reviving. I'm telling you, man, all of this was promotion. This was a promotional beef. I think this was all mastermind by Kanye West, because he put himself on the song, so everybody would say, look, Ye's on the song, so they would not only listen to it, they would put him in the middle of it as well. And you got Drake sending the invoice to Good Music offices, Def Jam. And look, this is for promotion, people. This is promotion. This, and it worked. It really did, because everybody's talking about Pusha T a lot more than it was a couple days ago or a week ago. All right, the next topic I'm going to speak about is Debra Lee. She has been at BET for a long time. I believe she was married to Bob Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. When he sold BET, she basically became the top person there. She began running BET herself until, to recently, now that she's stepping down. This is according to, Deadline.com. Because another veteran top executive at Viacom Cable Network is leaving the company. After a career at BET spanning 3 decades, Debra Lee is stepping down from her position as chairman and chief executive officer of BET Networks effective Monday, May 28, 2018. Lee, who had begun her career with the company as its first VP and general counsel in 1986, was elevated to president and COO in 1996, and became chairman and CEO in 2005. Lee's exit is not completely surprising. Viacom laid the groundwork for the move in December when Scott M. Mills was named BET president, a role in which he would oversee all strategy and day-to-day operations of BET Networks, including oversight of the brand's programming and ad sales and digital teams. At the time, Lee was set to continue her chairman and CEO role, but was going to step back from running the network and was to serve as advisor to Mills. Most Viacom network cable networks have undergone leadership changes as part of a reorganization implemented by Bob Bakish since he became Viacom CEO in early 2017. So what it looks like to me is the guy who's running Viacom now, he wants to have his own people there. That's basically what it is. When you have organizational changes, when a new guy comes in, he pretty much fires a ton of people in certain positions, and he rehires, his own people there that he trusts, and this is what it seems like to me, and I think he gives them a choice. Like, you can step down and still have a role here, or we can completely let you go, And the thing is about BET, and the thing about Debra Lee, and why this move can signal pretty much the end of BET as we know it, is because Debra Lee was pretty much the only holdout from the old BET era. To a certain degree, I think she still tried to keep it BET, but then still had to implement a lot of things that Viacom wanted her to put there. But this is probably it for BET. I mean, even though BET has pretty much been sanitized to a certain degree, to have more TV that is more corporate friendly and not as edgy. That's what it seemed like. This move is going to basically change what they were still trying to do with BET and probably go into a completely different role. Some of BET's biggest success stories with Lee at the helm include the 2014 series premiere of The Game, the most watched sitcom premiere in cable TV history with 7.68 million viewers, and the 2017 hit miniseries The New Edition Story, which brought in 28.4 million viewers from the initial run through subsequent encores, making it the highest rated TV biopic of all time. With her in charge, BET Networks has remained the #1 network among African American viewers for the past 17 years. Scripted series launched on Lee's watch include Being Mary Jane, The Real Husbands of Hollywood, and In Contempt. She also oversaw the creation of the BET Awards, as well as a launch of the first festival weekend under Viacom umbrella, the BET Experience. Lee also oversaw the launch of the network's website, BET.com, developed BET Her, the first network for African American women, and acquired television rights to Black Girls Rock. Lee also launched Leading Women Defined, an annual conference where notable African American women, including former First Lady Michelle Obama, Venus Williams, Issa Rae, and Erykah Badu, gather each year for insightful debates and conversations on issues that impact their community and families. Additionally, she championed BET's breast cancer campaign, BET Goes Pink, the education platform BET Next Level, and voting campaign BET Vote Your Voice, and several telethons for Florida, Haiti, and Katrina under the SOS Saving Ourselves initiative. Per BET, following her departure from the company, Lee, a well-respected industry executive, plans to stay involved in the media industry and continue her role on the corporate and nonprofit boards. In addition, Lee also plans to continue her commitment to diversity and inclusion by advancing the rights of women and girls, as well as people of color, through her work with Time's Up and the Recording Academy Diversity Inclusion Task Force, and to name a few. Lee's annual gathering of prominent African American women, Leading Women Defined, will also continue under her leadership. Let me say this about Debra Lee. She did oversee a lot of good things at BET, but I think that what she did was she made BET more black female friendly and centric. Like, everything was basically through the eyes of black women, and they tried to make the programming that way. BET had a diversity of content, I would say late 90s, early 2000s. And I guess when Bob Johnson no longer was overseeing a lot of things, and he was pretty much getting ready to sell the company, he gave her more leeway. Her and I believe his name's Stephen Hill. I don't know if he's still there or not. And that's when you start to see the changes. You start to see shows go away that were popular, and you start to bring in shows that really didn't make any sense. I mean, 106 & Park was a big success, and then it just started to falter because they started to care less and less about it. But it was still bringing in ratings. And there was other shows that came in and left that were very good ideas, but because it didn't fit what Viacom wanted to do, they went to the wayside, or it didn't fit an initiative about building and supporting women. I just read to you what the things that she's doing for black women, but you got to ask yourself, why didn't Debra Lee have any other black women close to her in position of power? The next person along in that, ladder of success in BET was Stephen Hill. Again, I don't know if he's still there or not. Y'all can tell me. But what other black women was she actually helping? It was almost like it was virtue signaling with Debra Lee, And honestly, I think that all in all, Debra Lee was a success as a female CEO, even as a CEO. And I also think she's the anti Mona Scott at VH1, who puts on degenerate TV, but is popular and she continues to do it, who cares nothing about culture and building up success in any shape, education or anything. Building up success, goddammit, in any way, shape, or form. She's just about bringing in views by any means. And I can say that Debra Lee was the exact opposite of that. So I can commend her on that. I can commend her on that. But it's a shame that, BET had its own identity, and the identity was pretty much washed away when Debra Lee became an employee instead of the employer. So y'all can let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section below. All right. Okay, now this particular topic is about Kelis. Now I meant to do this particular topic a couple of days ago, but I just never got around to doing it. And it's about Kelis having to show her financial records. And I may have to do another video on this because I want to talk about these baby mamas who make their own money, but they still go after their exes for money, even though they claim to not want anything to do with their exes. Okay. This is according to Hot New Hip Hop. It says Kelis financial records revealed amid Nas child support feud. Okay. It says Kelis seems to be making enough money. Nas and Kelis are dealing with a very public, very intense child support battle that has made Nas' financial assets and spending habits become public. We previously posted that Nas reportedly makes $175,000 a month from music, investments, and other endeavors. He apparently has more than $8 million in cash in the bank, and his monthly spending rounds up to $76,000, with a third of it supporting his family members. So he's already taking this money and supporting other family members. Maybe she saw that. Maybe she realized he was doing that, and she said he needs to give her more money. But anyway, the documents were made available since Kelis is requesting for more child support money to raise their son Knight. Now that Nas' money docs were revealed, Kelis has to, and it seems as though she is making a good amount of money. According to the blast, Kelis earns close to $1 million last year from her entertainment and touring company, My Night Inc., and her food product business as well. The publication says she has $691,000 in her bank accounts and owns about $1.3 million in property. Her music royalties from last year were on the lower end, only pulling in $9,000. So she only pulls in about $9,000 a year in royalties. Maybe because she doesn't have a lot of songs that's getting a lot of airplay. Because I think you get paid based on how many your songs get airplay. But look, I want y'all to think about this. Think about this now. This woman, she made $1 million. Say whatever you want. That's a lot of money. Okay. She made $1 million a year in a year, which probably means I would say she makes $1 million a year. Okay. From her businesses. Okay. And she has about $691,000 in her bank account, and she has $1.3 million in property. You mean to tell me that you're struggling to pay your bills and you need Nas to pay more? Come on, man. If y'all don't see how fraudulent this situation is, I don't know what is. What it seems like to me is that she probably has an expensive lifestyle, and I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to the numbers because y'all are going to you're really going to understand how gold diggish this female is, okay? But it just seems to me like she is bitter over something, and it has nothing to do with abuse. It has everything to do with the fact that Nas is moving on with his life. He's dating chicks like Nicki Minaj, and she's heard about that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it says Nas currently gives her $8,000 a month in child support, right? But she is trying to get more, saying that her monthly spending tops $25,000. This woman is spending $25,000 a month. But the publication further notes that she spends $5,000 on her mortgage. Her mortgage is about $5,700 a month. Is her mortgage. $4,500 in childcare. $1,100 a month in groceries. $1,100 a month in groceries. Let me tell y'all this. If you are spending $1,100 a month in groceries, if you should still have a ton of groceries in especially in your refrigerator and cabinets when the next month happens, especially if it's just you and your son living there. I could see if you're married and you have a couple of other children as well. You maybe have a family member or two who lives with you. But if it's just you and your son there, $1,100 a month in groceries is a lot of damn money to be spending on food. Okay. Now, I don't know if she buys her food from Whole Foods or she imports her food. It's very expensive. You know, maybe she buys the most expensive food she can. But that's ridiculous. Now, looking at this. Now, there's some other numbers. $1,200 a month in dining, which means she spends $1,200. Not only does she spend $1,100 a month for groceries, she's spending $1,200 a month just to go eat out. So what's the point of buying groceries if you're eating out? $1,500 a month in laundry and cleaning, and $1,700 a month on clothing. She claims more money is spent on tutoring for night. So you mean to tell me that $8,000 doesn't help you cover the child care? It doesn't help you cover the groceries and even the clothing. And she says more money is on tutoring night. This woman is full of it. She's money hungry. She's out here. She's chasing those bags. Okay. This woman makes basically $1 million a year. Okay. She makes $1 million a year. She has about $600,000 in the bank, which means if she will cut some of this damn spending, she would have more money. But because she probably spends $25,000 a month, and she wants to go shopping, she wants to go on vacation, she wants to spend money on the dudes that she dates. You know, she wants to use her child's money to do all that. She don't want to use her money. She wants to use her child's money. $8,000 is enough for one child. I'm sorry. If LA is too expensive, move. But you need to stop trying to milk your ex-husband for money. He's a guy that you claim was abusive. He's a guy who you claim that you just had to get away from. But you keep going back and forth to court trying to get more money from him. So how does that make you look, Kelis? Looking at your financial situation makes me believe that you're just in it for the bag. You're just trying to use your ex to fund your lifestyle. Because $25,000 a month is atrocious. When you know that you're basically a business owner, and you know that you're relying on yourself to take care of your bills, you should never have to be going back and forth to court to get more money for one child. I'm sorry, but I know some people gonna disagree with it, but it is what it is. Okay, y'all can let me know what y'all think on that in the comment section below. All right, people, let me get to this video, this viral video of these doctors, or this doctor in here. What is it? Dancing to music while they were operating on a patient. I saw this video, and I just want to say about this video, this just is proof that, you know, the females like this are always looking to do something that's gonna make them go viral. They're always doing something to get them some extra likes and comments. And the thing is, I bet there were people who were highly entertained by this. Highly entertained by professional surgeons dancing and twerking in the operating room. And yes, the majority of people, if not all, were black. The nurses, the doctor. I mean, this was atrocious. This was an embarrassment to black people. And I know people want to say, "What does it got to do with black people?" It has everything to do with it, because visuals matter. And when you have a black surgeon who is supposed to be educated and understand to compartmentalize and know how to be professional, this is a bad look for us. And now this Atlanta dermatologist is being sued for this stupid video. According to WREG.com, it says, with a scalpel in her hand, Dr. Wendell Boyette cuts into a patient's abdomen in sync with the beat of OT Genesis song Cut It. She sings along. In another video posted in the doctor's public, so this doctor had a YouTube page, or has a YouTube page. It says, in another video posted to the doctor's public YouTube channel, the Atlanta Area Board certified dermatologist dances with surgical instruments in each hand, but without a surgical mask on or gloves. She leans over the top of the patient's half bare buttocks as she raps her own lyrics to Migos' Bad and Bougie. My patients are bad and bougie, building up fat in the booty. My patients are snatched with big booties. We got tummy tucks and BBLs too. BBL stands for Brazilian butt lifts too. Oh my goodness. What an embarrassment. Sometimes the doctor's assistants pull double duty as backup dancers in their scrubs. In one video, two of them dance in a choreographed unison behind the doctor as she mugs for the camera to Jennifer Lopez's booty. At times, the camera zooms in on the patient's completely bare buttocks on the operating table. Yeah, that's going to get you sued. That's going to get you sued. Because you're basically humiliating the patient that you're working on. While you're supposed to be working. See, these patients put their trust in you as a doctor to operate on them, and for things like this to not happen. But they happen. And this is why this particular woman is in a situation that she's in. And all those nurses too. Nurses do need to be dealt with as well, because they went along with it. Each of these videos was later deleted from Boyette's public channel due to lawsuits filed against the doctor. HLN, CNN's sister network, was able to obtain video of multiple instances of questionable conduct by Boyette. I know I may say the name wrong, but it is what it is. In the operating room, more than 20 videos were once posted to the doctor's public YouTube channel, apparently for promotional purposes. So I guess all the dancing and all of the rapping, that was to promote, people to put their trust in you, to not show them while they're bare nude, drugged up on your operating table, where accidents can happen if you're not paying attention. HLN found 5 malpractice lawsuits pending against Boyette. She has reached 4 settlements. HLN has not found judgments decided against her, but female patients with lawsuits claim they've suffered infections, disfigurement, and even brain damage following procedures at Boyette's hands. So this woman is clumsy, and she's singing and dancing and rapping, and she's injuring her, patients. Boyette's office and attorney did not respond to HLN's request for comment. HLN has learned the Georgia Composite Medical Board has had information regarding Boyette's alleged unsafe practices since at least March of 2016. The board told HLN that it could not answer questions. So y'all known about this since 2016, but we just now find out about this in 2018 when the videos go viral. In an interview with CNN affiliate WSB, Dr. Dan DeLoke, a board-certified plastic surgeon and chair of the board, refused to comment directly on Boyette, but said, "You don't want to rush to judgment and end up making an error that could be very professionally harmful." So Boyette continues to practice. Even though Boyette has settled 4 lawsuit. She settled for, but we're rushing to judgment. we're making judgments, but she has settled 4 suits. Let's see. The Lokes' response is appalling to Susan Witt, an attorney representing 3 women who claim their lives have been changed by Boyette. Isilma Cornelius is one of those women. 2.5 years ago, Cornelius went to Boyette's premier aesthetic center for Botox and other minor cosmetic treatments ahead of her wedding. Cornelius was really excited to start a new chapter of her life, which said once the office staff was aware of that, they played upon the fact that she was getting married and she wanted to look good in her dress. While in the office, Cornelius agreed to a surgical procedure that Boyette said could flatten her stomach. More than 8 hours into surgery, Boyette's staff called 911 because she stopped breathing, according to court documents. While Boyette's staff did start CPR, by the time the first responders arrived, she was essentially dead, which says her pupils were fixed and dilated. Cornelius survived but sustained permanent brain damage. Her 26-year-old son, O.J. Labard, was now her 24-hour caretaker. And this woman still continues to practice medicine. They could do no wrong. You can do absolutely no wrong. Women like this could do absolutely no wrong. She should not be practicing medicine. This is disgusting. Cornelius survived but sustained. I read that. I have to help her in the bathroom, brush her teeth, prepare her meals, prepare her medication, of course, changing her clothes. Labard said, everything we're used to doing for ourselves have to do for her. Cornelius' case was settled for an undisclosed amount, Witt says. Former patients say they bought Boyette's claim that she's Atlanta's leading cosmetic surgeon, as she advises on her website. They were also impressed by her credentials. She graduated from UCLA School of Medicine and completed her residency at Emory University School of Medicine. She also board certified by the American Academy of Dermatology. But lawsuits claim she's unqualified to do many of the procedures she advises, even though there is no law in Georgia that prohibits it. So Georgia is complicit in this. Let me tell y'all something. People lie on their resumes all the time. People lie on their credentials all the time. What it seems like to me is that this woman is grossly unqualified. Now, maybe she did get a degree, but she's unqualified, you know? And the fact that she's been settling lawsuit after lawsuit and she continues to practice lets me know that getting surgery in states like Georgia, you're pretty much on your own. Okay, there's no law that's going to protect you or is going to keep people who should not be practicing any type of surgical should not be practicing in any type of surgical proceedings. It's not going to do anything for you. You're basically on your own, and you're not going to have any protection. And the only thing you can hope for if you have a surgery that is botched is to sue. That's it. When you are licensed to practice medicine in Georgia, you are licensed to practice medicine and surgery. It says so right on your license, the Loke told WSB. Witt says she has seen cases in which emergency room physicians have gotten into cosmetic surgery business. Witt said the focus is on Boyette now, but she's not unique. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I've said the things I need to say, but this just shows y'all, man. Do y'all really think a male surgeon will be able to get away with this? I just want to know. Y'all can let me know in the comment section what y'all think. All right, people, last topic. Let's talk about this 30-year-old man that got evicted from his parents' house, okay? And now hoping to gain custody of his son. This is according to USA Today. It says Michael Rotundo's parents sued him to get him out of their house. But the 30-year-old tells USA Today he's been trying to move out for years. Of course you have. Michael Rotundo left, sits during, I don't read all that. After a judge ordered Michael Rotundo out of his parents' New York home Tuesday, the 30-year-old bumped into his father while reheating food in the family kitchen. I said, "Excuse me," Rotundo said Thursday, explaining he was hungry after all the media interviews that day. His father, Rotundo, claims he did not excuse himself. "What am I supposed to say to that?" he asked. "Am I supposed to be like, maybe you should treat people the way that you would like to be treated?" It's easy to form an opinion on Rotundo, a 30-year-old grown man refusing to leave his parents' home despite a judge ruling to evict him on Tuesday. But for him, his various media appearances and his defense of himself in court are part of a personal mission to reunite with his son. And his living situation with his parents isn't that awkward. It's the same relationship they share in the months he lived with them, avoiding their eviction letters. "We stayed out of each other's way. We don't really interact," he said. The family talks only when they have to, such as when coordinating how much coffee to make, he said. Despite the eviction, he isn't out of the house yet, he said to Syracuse.com. Syracuse.com reports the attorney for his parents, Christina and Mark Rotundo, would draft an eviction order giving him time to relocate. That must be a very big house. A lot of room, a lot of space. He said he wouldn't appeal if they gave him 3 months to get out. To him, it's simple. He doesn't have the means to move out now, and he was planning his exit anyway. "I don't want to stay in my parents' house forever. I want to get out as soon as possible," he said. "I've been working towards that, and I'm working to achieve it in the near future." Rotundo, who has long hair and bushy beard, said his hobbies include bicycling, listening to music, and the outdoors. He has a business which he also generates revenue, but wouldn't elaborate further. So basically, he's making money, but he's not giving them none. Maybe that's why they're upset. He definitely embraced his sudden fame. In two days, he's appeared on CNN and major newspapers and TMZ. He's hoping the media coverage will somehow allow him to see his son, of whom he lost custody and visitation rights, he said. "Hopefully, by doing these interviews, people will start to support that I should be able to see my son again," he said. "And I want to make one thing clear. He doesn't deny his age makes him a millennial. He just doesn't think he fits the stereotype. I'm not a crazy person," he said. "I'm a little weird or quirky or whatever, but I'm a great father." And that is from the 30-year-old Michael Rotundo, who got kicked out of his parents' house. You know, stories like this always has layers. There's always layers to these stories. And the layer of this story seems to be that he is in a situation where maybe he does have a business, as he said he does, and he's making money, but he's saving that money in order to get a place where he can have more visitation with the son. That would be the perfect excuse for why he still live with his parents. But y'all got to understand, he's only 30. It's not like he's 35, 40 years old. But still, when you're in your 20s, you should be on your way out the house. You know what I'm saying? And I think in his situation, it seems like the only thing on his mind is his son, which is I can understand that. But if your parents don't want you there, dude, you got to find a way to go. You're going to have to leave. Because maybe you do have money and maybe you don't want to give it to them. But if they are letting you stay there and you're 30 years old, you got to look for an exit. Because they don't want you there. And it's clear. Maybe you don't care, but they don't want you there, dude. So you should take this opportunity to say, you know what? I have goals, priorities. My first and main priority will be to get out of my parents' house and put myself in a better position to see my son, to get visitation from my son. Because what it seemed like to me is that this guy really don't have nobody. His parents don't want him there. His child's mother wants him to have nothing to do with his son. So he need to focus on rebuilding his life, getting himself out that house, working on getting the revenue. He's doing a lot of interviews, and I know he ain't doing them for free. So he should use the publicity, either to find a good lawyer who's willing to work with him, but also find revenue to get him out of his parents' house where he doesn't have to worry about this anymore. So that's all I have to say. That's it for the topics. Make sure that y'all continue to support the platform, like this particular video, and share it as well. I'll see you on the next one.